I know everyone in this place cares about the well-being of children. We all acknowledge the need to do better when it comes to mental health care, especially for Aboriginal kids. And we need to do better for those who are still in offshore detention centres. The Medevac bill passed in the 45th Parliament, passed in this chamber only a few months ago, was one small, necessary, sensible, compassionate, Christian step in that direction. And Deputy Speaker, allowing the men, women and children who are or have been in offshore detention to receive appropriate medical care through a proper process does not in any way affect the security or safety of Australians. That is an enormously serious topic, and no one, if you respect that, if you seriously say that the highest priority of leadership and of government is the safety of the Australian people, you should never stand up and trail that about in defence of what is being done here. It is a serious duty. It should not be used by a government and by a minister who simply wants to make themselves out as the toughest, baddest person who ever walked around. There is no courage in that. There is no courage in that. It is ridiculous, and we see it in here every day. So far, there have been 77 transfers, with 19 cases referred to the Independent Health Advice Panel appointed by the government. Of those referred cases, the Minister's challenge on health grounds has been upheld on 12 occasions and overturned on 7 occasions. The Minister has not used his power to deny any transfer on the basis of national security or public safety or character grounds. Has never sought to use that power which he has. In other words, the system is working. People in desperate ill health on the brink of survival finally have the opportunity on medical advice to get the kind of health care that they desperately need. So I end as I began, Deputy Speaker. The Medevac law passed earlier this year in the 45th Parliament allows and has allowed desperate and damaged people to receive urgent and necessary medical care on the advice of highly qualified Australian medical professionals appointed by the Minister for Home Affairs, and it does so with due and proper regard to any reasonable security concerns. There is no reasonable basis to change that, and when we vote on it shortly, I really hope that those opposite hold on to what they are doing, because you are turning your back on a sensible piece of law that has enabled a absolutely desperately needed process for people who are hurting themselves and who are dying because they are so mentally unwell. There's no reasonable basis on which to take away that process. There's no reasonable basis for this bill, and the Medevac system should not be changed. Thank you.